They inform us by name common, they are only for the subdivision, because every time trunk or common, they are for the subdivision. Each iliac common artery in front of them, the iliosacral joint, subdivides into the iliac external and iliac internal arteries. You can see iliac external artery is very, very easy, because it gives only two branches. One from them, look please here, do you see one from them? Do you see? Mm-hmm. It goes along of the internal side of the iliac crest to the iliac fossa. For the blood supply of the iliac muscle and psoas major also, it is called circumflex iliac deep artery, arteria circumflexa iliaca profunda, circumflex iliac deep artery. You can see this circumflex iliac deep artery, it goes along of the internal border of the iliac crest. Another artery, do you see? It begins, it is cut, do you see here? Do you see this is open? And it begins, do you see, to the anterior abdominal wall by its internal side. Do you see its projection? Do you see? Mm-hmm. It is called epigastric inferior artery. It comes to the umbus. And anastomosis with continuation of the thoracic internal artery. Do you see? No, this is left, here is cut it right. Thoracic internal artery, which comes to the umba by its continuation, which is called epigastric superior. Epigastric superior artery, which is continuation of the thoracic internal from subclavian. Anastomosis with epigastric inferior from iliac external, from arteria iliaca externa. But if you remember, do you see here from lower 5 or 4, do you see lower intercostal spaces, to them will come for the anastomosis intercostal posterior lower arteries. Intercostal posterior, they are names, but do you see, I said you, from lower intercostal spaces. Do you understand? But before visit of the epigastric inferior artery to the internal side of the anterior abdominal wall, it gives pubic branch to the pubic symphysis. Remember, please, about this branch, because later we will speak about it. You can see circumflex iliac deep, arteria circumflexa iliaca profunda, and arteria epigastrica epigastric inferior artery. These are branches of the iliac external artery. You can see another artery is iliac internal artery. Iliac internal artery divides into the posterior trunk and anterior trunk. Into the posterior trunk, do you see, and into the anterior trunk. Now this you can see is anterior trunk. This is anterior trunk. And all branches which will be to the back, they will be posterior. Do you see? From posterior trunk. You can see from posterior trunk begins artery and goes behind of the psoas major muscle into the iliac fossa for the meeting with circumflex iliac deep artery. It is called iliolumbar artery, arteria iliolumbalis. Another artery, it is cutted here. It goes by suprapiriform opening. Raphael, show us suprapiriform opening behind of the lector. It goes behind by suprapiriform opening. No, show, Raphael.
Wait, iliac.
Where is piriform muscle, musculus piriformis? Да. Where is suprapiriform opening? This, by suprapiriform opening, this branch goes to the back. It is called arteria gluteus superior. Another branch above the piriform muscle, by suprapiriform open, goes to the back, is called gluteus superior. It supplies piriform muscle, musculus piriformis, near which it goes. It supplies the gluteus minor, gluteus medial muscle, and is called gluteus superior. And do you see, look please here, and do you see, and another branch of the posterior trunk, do you see, it goes from laterally to the sacrum. Do you see? It is called sacralis lateralis. Sacralis lateralis from right side and from left side anastomosis. And the anastomosis, do you remember, with tail of the aorta with sacral median artery. Sacral median artery from abdominal aorta, sacral lateral right, sacral lateral left from iliac internal arteries on both sides. They communicate, they do sacral plexus in front of then the sacrum, behind of the rectum. If you remember, rectum divides into the superior or supraampular part, medial or ampule, and inferior or subampular part. Ampule for the storing of the feces. Feces can be dry, can be strong, and do you see, if do you see storing will be storing of the big portion, the feces can press the sacrum which is placed behind, because do you see, to the posterior side, to the posterior wall of the pelvic box, to which ampule joints, do you see, will come the arteries from three sides for the production of the plexus. And if, do you see, will be problem with any branches which will be pressed, do you see, some branches will bring the blood. You can see I explained you the posterior trunk of the iliac internal artery, which gave arteria iliolumbalis, arteria sacralis lateralis, and do you see by do you see suprapiriform opening to the back directed gluteal superior artery, gluteus superior. Anterior trunk. Look please here, this is anterior. This is anterior trunk. Anterior trunk gives us some branches. One from them, do you see this branch, which hangs above the pelvic box, directs to the anterior abdominal wall and directs to the umba. It is called arteria umbilicalis. By this umbilical artery, through the fetal life, the mixed blood directed out from organism of the fetus. And this artery, do you see, outside then the umba, completed into the umbilical duct. Umbilical duct, this is tube which is formed by sheaths, inside of which is placed umbilical artery and umbilical vein. Umbilical artery, do you see, directed out from fetus mixed blood, which consists the biggest portion of the dioxygenated, of the dioxygen, and lesser portion of the oxygen. When we, do you see, cut it after birth, umbilical duct, this artery obliterates, closes its space, do you see, on the region when it joins to the anterior abdominal wall. It transforms into the cord, which is called umbilical ligament, only here. When it hangs above the pelvic box, it stores the space, because this space consists the blood, and from this, do you see, umbilical artery began, do you see, now students cut it, began, do you see, the arteria vesicalis superior, vesical superior artery. Do you see, here is a urinary bladder, do you see? This is urinary bladder. And here, do you see, the branch from umbilical artery directed, do you see, to the upper anterior side of the urinary bladder. It's called arteria vesicalis superior. You can see we have right umbilical artery, we have left umbilical artery. Because now for the urinary bladder we gave how many arteries? My dear, you don't listen to me.
Two, one
Oh.
for right.
Right and left, do you see? If, do you see, I said you, we have, do you see, two iliac internal arteries, because we have two umbilical arteries, and we gave, do you see, two vesical superior arteries. Remember, please, they are called vesical superior, yes? Because you can understand. Later we will try to find some another arteries, because this has name superior. If it is alone, it will be called arteria vesicalis. It is called vesical superior. Maybe very often antagonist. Do you see? Urinary bladder is to house for the urine. What I said you, if organs can expand by storing of the something like stomach, do you see, uterus, do you see, urinary bladder, do you see, they must get the blood by many arteries. Now we gave two, and we will wait for the some another. Arteria umbilicalis, do you see, it is closed, do you see, when it joins to the anterior wall and continues to the umbus, and it is for the giving of the vesical superior artery. Look please here, do you see this very contrast like white object? Do you see? This is called nervus obturatorius. But it goes to the obturator open because it is called. I will come to the place where it, do you see, comes to the obturator opening. Oh, my dear. And wanted. And look, please here. And together with it, do you see, is placed the same artery. Now I will show it you. Do you see here it's beginning? Do you see? Here it's beginning. And here it's continuation. Do you see? Arteria obturatoria. Arteria obturatoria comes to the obturator opening. From internal margin of the obturator opening begins obturator internal muscle. When do you see arteria obturatoria passes, do you see, out through the obturator opening, from external border of the obturator opening begins obturator external muscle. And do you see, after it exits, it subdivides into the medial or adduction group of the muscles of the femoral region, muscles of the thigh. Do you see? Arteria obturatoria, it supplies internal, external obturator muscles and subdivides, do you see, between medial group or adduction group of the muscles of the thigh. Do you understand? But do you remember, I said you, epigastric inferior artery, before its visit to the anterior wall, gave pubic branch. Arteria obturatoria, before its exit from pelvic box by obturator open, gives the pubic branch. Pubic branch of the obturator artery and pubic branch of the external iliac artery, they communicate by their smaller subdivisions. And this communication on this side or on this side will be behind of the what? What is it?
Ignorant.
What? No, what is it? My dear, some lessons ago we studied.
Ligament.
My dear, I show you ligament or I show you something. What is it?
Oh, the canal.
What inguinal? Inguinal, what inguinal?
Inguinal canal.
This is inguinal canal. What is it? Inside is inguinal canal. What is it? How it is called? Superficial inguinal ring. My dear, do you remember how many times I ask you? Deep ring, inguinal canal, superficial ring. Next time you will repeat. You can see. This is superficial ring of the inguinal canal. Do you see here? Do you see except? Do you see in male organism, spermatic cord, in the female, the teres around ligament? This is superficial ring. If will exit hernia, it, do you see, will expand, do you see, this open will destroy the wall, do you see? No, and these all things will locate behind of the skin. What is operation about hernia? we will do section, and after that we will do correction of the walls and distance of the superficial ring. For us, is a very big problem to do section. If we will do deep section, we can destroy this communication of the pudental branch, of the pubic branch, of the pubic branch from iliac external artery and of the pubic branch from obturator artery. And this anastomosis is called corona mortis, crown of death. You can see pubic branch from epigastric inferior artery will subdivide into the many branches, smaller, they are very lesser. And you see pubic branch from obturator artery will subdivide, and this will do net behind of the superficial ring. And when we do operation, if we destroy this plexus, by cut and by some material, we will press, and these are very smaller, they will look like glue, do you see? After operation, person takes the vertical position very fastly. And if we didn't do coagulation, do you see, the person can stand this, do you see, many smaller branches will open and will be bleeding. Bleeding will be into the pelvic box. Did you understand? And along of the 12 or more hours will be, do you see, exit of the biggest portion, losing of the biggest portion of the blood. Because this, do you see, is called corona mortis, which is translated crown of death. We must remember, and we must control, do you see, this situation, and we must produce very big attention for this region. Did you understand? You can see this is obturator artery, which gave, this is the pubic branch. Another artery. Do you see, this is kidney, this is ureter. Do you see, ureter crosses, do you see, the iliac internal artery. Ureter crosses iliac internal artery because it gives ureter's branch, artery ureters. Do you understand? Another, you can see another branch, do you see, another branch will go from, do you see, will go from obturator, from iliac internal artery, will go, do you see, now I will take it, will go, do you see, behind to the urinary bladder, and by back will direct below. It's called artery vesicalis inferior. Vesical inferior artery. Vesical inferior artery from right side, vesical inferior artery from left side, they will come to the urinary bladder. Artery vesicalis inferior, vesical inferior artery, right and left, they will go to the back. Do you remember, in front of and above we gave vesical superior. Urinary bladder, which is storing for the urine, is supplied by 4 arteries. 2 vesical superior, do you see, from iliac, from umbilical arteries from both sides, and 2 vesical inferior from iliac internal arteries from both sides. They do plexus vesicalis, plexus arteriosus vesicalis. Did you understand? Okay, another artery, this is artery vesicalis inferior, another artery will go to the medial or ampular region of the rectum. Is called arteria rectalis media. Arteria rectalis media will anastomosis with arteria rectalis superior, which is branch of the mesenteric inferior artery. Arteria rectalis media, this is branch of the iliac internal. Another, you can see, another two branches, they go to the infrapiriform opening. To the infrapiriform opening.